I will not be invited to Plat Chat this week, is all I'm saying. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Johnny. Yes, Gen.G versus Sakura here, Rose, our first match of EMEA. Week 2, day number 1. Rose, Gen.G, bit of a disappointing start versus Virtus.pro, obviously, but they are 1-1 in the standings currently. Here is the roster that you'll be seeing today. Maybe some more Mag Wrecking Ball. Top Dragon Sauna for DPS, Mag on tank, Kineo, and Crispy on the support. Now, Gen.G, Rose, spoke a little bit about them last week, and even going into like this new season with the new ban system, I did end up actually speaking to Krusty, and this was the map I spoke to him about, the Mercy ban. And
what did he say?
And basically it was just like, we don't want to really waste bans some of the time, and it's definitely a strategy that you'd want to employ earlier on in the series. Obviously, if you know, pick a bit of a throwaway ban and go in later in the series, you're like, okay, we can ban more important heroes if you're confident on your control game. So I think that's pretty important. Coming into the fray, and coaching Krusty, sorry, a very experienced coach, will be making full utilization of the ban system going in. Sakura Esports, yeah, not at a hot start, unfortunately for them. China and Zoro in the DPS, Hattori taking up that tank role, Prota and Strebor in the backline. They had a pretty interesting week too, Rose. China, obviously, Tracer kind of specialist, extremely good on that pick, can be very easily targeted out a lot of the time, it feels like. And in same with Zoro, in a way, if you're banning that Sojourn, those hit scans away from Zoro, they can struggle a little bit. This will definitely be an upward tilt battle for them. Gen.G has still got something to prove, I think. They want to be like that rank 2 spot after VP, so we'll see how they end up doing against Sakura. But in theory, this should be a quick 3-0 for them.
Unfortunately, when you take a look at their match versus Team Vision, there's 2 takeaways there. One is the bans that you talked about, but I think we also have to take a look at Team Vision maybe also being a stronger opponent than what people expected. So taking a look at the losses that Sakura have already had to the Ultimates and Team Vision, maybe we get a chance to see them still turn it around. It's still early on in the Swiss stage, so it's or round robin, I guess, because everybody's playing each other. So who knows what's going to happen. And I really hope today we get a chance to see Sakura in a different light, but this is still going to be such a tough opponent. Gen.G really turning things around in their second match of last week, and I think they come back as a brighter team than what we saw in their very first match. A fluke, they say.
Yes.
Fluke, some might say.
That's it. I mean, look, if you lose, it's a fluke, surely, right?
Yeah.
Gen.G. Okay, here we go. Here's a Krusty ban here. Junkrat for Gen.G. First to ban there. Updated the graphics a little bit as well. We can now see who banned first. Make it a bit easier for you guys at home as well. Hammond ban. So, Mag Wrecking Ball, gone. Unfortunately for us. But Gen.G also picking Lijiang Tower to start us off. Last time they did end up going control, it was Samoa for both teams. Sakura ended up banning Hog to start off with, and then Gen.G banned Judo last week in their most recent series. So not exactly similar bans, Rose. I'm not also going to take the Mercy ban into account at all from Gen.G, but we'll have to wait
Mercy,
and
Junkrat.
see. Okay.
You can see that is definitely the strategy coming to full fruition. But the Wrecking Ball ban actually does make sense. This is a hero that we've seen Mag play. We literally just had that clip, but Mag also loves to be able to play that hero on basically just any map that ball is viable. I think you're certainly looking at one. So we're gonna have to see the Orisa instead. Orisa versus a Hazard. This was a story I wanted to get into before we actually started this match. Yes, I know we're looking at a Torbjorn.
And a Sim.
Looking at 2. We're actually looking at 2 Torbs.
2 Torbs and a Sim. Prota dies to the turret. Okay, Rose, I'm just going to start out today, and I was going to mention this at some time where I didn't have much else to speak about, but I was watching a little bit of Korean OWCS earlier on this morning at like 5 a.m. So it was Vec versus New Era. Both teams were playing Sim, Tor, Ball, Kiriko, Moira, and that was on a Suravasa. Both teams, by the way, are 0-4 currently. You know, one ended up coming out with a win, so...
Okay, so take this
we've
with a grain
seen
of
this
salt.
in other regions, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, you know, Krusty coming over from the APAC region, maybe he's bringing a little bit of that sauce to the Gen.G lineup. It's working so far. Gen.G having 30% capture progress on this first round, but we're already seeing the swaps come through. Top Dragon going back over to the Tracer. Sana may stay on the sim.
No one is dying, though.
This is crazy.
Okay, eventually people die. To be fair, yeah, the comp is pretty hard to dislodge off point. When you try and move in, you have to like deal with the little Symmetra turrets. Obviously, the Torp turret's kind of pummeling you from a long way as well. Hotori and the rest of Sakura Esports do end up capping the point. Gen.G with 43%, but now Top Dragon's going Mei, so it's even more of a difficult time now. TP onto the point, isolate Hotori, and yeah, that'll be the end of Sigma's life pretty rapidly if they're not careful.
Geez, like, I think we've seen like 15 different heroes at this point in this map already.
Love it.
Yeah, Tracer, then Mei from Torb, from Top Dragon. Now Hitori's also on Sigma as of the last fight.
Yeah, well, a little bit too far forward there for Top Dragon, sadly, but it's all good. Pulls the block instantly as Hitori moves forwards. There's the Terra Surge coming out onto the point, but Mag just gets fried by the turret. And the left click as well from China. It's a very easy time if you're the... This is just silly. It's a very easy time if you're the sim in a lot of these moments as well, because you're just perma left clicking the tank and you are full beam like 99% of the fight. There is a sound barrier coming back for Gen.G as well as that Symmetra wall as well. This is the variety I think everybody kind of wanted to see in this match, and I'm glad we're getting it. But Sakura Esports have so many ults. You should be able to stall this one out. You trade beat for beat. You trade wall for wall now, so we're doing a little bit of geometry and no one's going to die, at least for the foreseeable future. Got to be careful though. Max 1 HP. Okay, there is the beat. Okay, counteract the flux. China dies to a headshot as the Molten Core lands on the point. Crispy 1 HP, trying to dodge the Molten Core. That lava eventually helping to kill him. And the hammer for Zoro? Oh, not quite. Although this will be Sakura Esports quite possibly securing this round with the Torb and the Simcop. Okay, not something I expected to see this morning waking up, but I'm here for it.
I think this is just a ground cap.
Canal? Lose the 1v1. Unlucky stuff. Lucio's a little bit quicker than Kiriko. Fortunately for the Lucio. Far in for Sauna now. Onto the point. Blizzard on top of the wall. More successful than mine, that's for sure. It does manage to land onto Zoro, but there's no follow-up as China. Yeah, that's that's a lot of laser damage. 100% full torque, running it down. He's got a particle accelerator in his back pocket as he gets 3 kills at the very end. Sakura, they find round 1.
0-1.
There's a lot to break down there. There's a lot to take away and sink in from a round like that. I think we saw 20 different heroes at a certain point in that map, and it's the Sim Torb Sig that's gonna win out at the end of the day. I'm here for it. Honestly, I was not expecting that we would see much different than what we ended up having for some of these previous matches, but Sakura is showing us incredible versatility. I thought it would be more Hazard, more of the Tracer and Sojourn, but I'm good with this.
Who needs like actual weaponry when you have turrets?
Turrets are great. Yeah, just let them aim for you.
Exactly. We can do the same kind of thing here with Mag on the Winston instead. Turret already down. The 6th player dead on both sides. Top Dragon's turret also falls. Benefit for Kaneo heroes as well. You can sit so far at the back, although getting your grenade eaten will be rather frustrating as Mag tries to make his way onto the point.
Kaneo loves to play the Ana. I think if you're going to run the Winston, it fits really well into this composition, but that means you need to be able to manage those cooldowns of those grenades so well. You want to get the ante onto somebody like the Sigma, or at least allow the rest of your like Winston to kind of finish up that damage.
Oh, okay, Top Dragon eventually doing one of those mini turrets. It's taking a long time to end these fights, Rose, and that's what kind of this comp does, right? The Sim and the Torb and the Sigma, like, they just stay alive on the point. Torb has a lot of good survivability and a good shield from Hitori. Placing his tray in front of her, dodges the nade, and an Ana boost is going to be the thing to crack this one open if you're Gen.G. You see Mag kind of taking the poke damage.
But that's what we were just talking about, right? Is the cooldown on that nade is still long enough that you need to make sure that those are going to land. At least the nano can help you, but it's 38% already.
Oh, Zoro eventually goes down to Crispy. Nano Mag into the backline, has to back up, eventually got fried by the lasers. And China can just do a little bit of a cleanup simulator now. are now just going to sit in the front line, chewing away the shield and dealing with the Gen.G players who are seemingly everywhere right now. Yeah, Top Dragon is on the mini, of all things. Will China eventually die? Doesn't look like it. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, eventually the Symmetra will end up falling over. A Flux did hit the backline, but to be honest with you, Rose, I can't really tell what's going on. A Primal Rage eventually ends up being popped here by Mag, killing China as both Sims die, but the rock off of the map. Mag narrowly escaping with his life. Hits the reset jump, and Rose, Sakura Esports still got control of the point. And
win this map.
They might just win this map.
This is insane. You still have the Symmetra wall. You have the sound barrier as well. Oh, the Venture's trying to get behind the team, but the sound barrier is perfect.
Both beats end up coming in, hits most players from the side of Gen.G, and now the Molten Core can do its work. Oh, Zoro, though. No overload, so can't quite survive. Hattori also pretty low. Manages to get a bit of a damage eaten up, though, so a little bit of extra shield aids with the kill onto Mag. And Hattori is still alive on the point. Top Dragon on the Venture at this point is going to have to find a lockdown kill onto somebody. Eventually Proto falls, but Top Dragon taking still a lot of damage from the turrets and the spheres from Hattori. Kinell's there with the kill, but Sakura Esports still with 99%. This is truly a game of Overwatch.
I genuinely thought that Hattori was going to win that out too. Like, you had all of the healing getting pumped in from Proto. You were getting solo pocketed and just surviving for so long on the point. I was like, oh, surely Top Dragon's Venture is going to fall over. But no, it's going to be a Sim teleporter back into the fight.
All right, there's the rush on to the point to China. Does manage to get healed up in the end, but a nice dash in from Top Dragon. Flux connects, and Mag goes down to Strebor, and Hattori's now on the back of the point. It's going to be hard to dislodge a Sigma, but without DPS, it's going to be tough for Sakura Esports to stay alive as Top Dragon. The survivability adventure just coming to full force there. Top Dragon finds 4 kills in that fight, 10-player kill streak, and Gen.G might found their way back into this game somehow. And now Hattori is on Queen.
A Queen this time, actually. We have another tank hero that we're seeing in this match. But Top Dragon still has the Tectonic Shock, and I feel like that actually fares even better into something like the Queen. You don't have that wall anymore to be able to stop that.
Oh, Tori's gonna just find one person and run at them. Although, yeah, the Ventro's a bit hard to deal with if you're just a frontline comp that just wants to walk forward. Sauna, pulse bomb in hand, might not need it for Strebor, who's close to that sound barrier, but with Proto dead, a quick reset here from Sakura Esports is required. Hattori trying to exercise some demons right now in because Gen.G running all over Sakura Esports, as we might in fact see a third round.
I think you might be right about that one, because Mag still has access to the Primal Rage. Sonic could also just end the fight here with a Pulse Bomb, but at least there's double support ultimates here for Sakura. Crispy might be able to get the sound barrier up online, though, for this next fight.
Sound barrier hits 5. A fairly early one, though, as Mag posts the Primal Rage. Can try and boop Zoro off the edge. Goodbye, Torbjorn. That's 1 kill for Mag. Looking for a second, but dodging out of the way of the Ray is going to be important. But a late sound barrier comes in from Crispy. Only hits 2, but it might be enough, as Mag is kind of solo carrying right now. Kills China. Both DPS dead for Sakura Esports, as well as their Juno player. So 2v5 on the point. The Rampage lands. No Suzu available, but a quick TP away from Kaneo will cleanse the ante. And there it is. Round 3 coming up.
Okay, we've got a round 3 on our hands. It was almost a 2-0 for Sakura, but Gen.G feels like they might be finally putting in some of the more meta compositions to their benefit. I don't think we're going to see the Winston, though, on this point. And we can't see the Wrecking Ball. Sorry, Mag. But...
Mag is shaking his fist right
please. Now. Joss, please don't tell me we see Bastion.
I mean, at this point, just throw it all in the wind and just see what happens, you know? I don't mind it. Like, this is kind of like a... Oh, solo queue strat. This was happening for a while. Like, you know, Sim TP the Bastion around. Like, don't hate it. Don't hate it. As long as they control the point, they're good. Although this initial fight's going to be very difficult against the Sim. The Sim is dead. So this initial fight is going to be very easy for Sakura Esports now, as the Sim is dead. Although, unfortunately for China and Zoro, Top Dragon managed to burrow to the backline and then drill dash straight through the entire team. A lot of big damage coming out for Gen.G as Yeah, without DPS, this comp is very, very, well, damageless is the best word I can come up.
No, it's great. You're right. It lacks the damage, but what they lack in damage, they have in grit. Is that how the saying?
Oh, grit and determination is definitely winning these games. That is for sure. Top Dragon down, though, to Zoro, and Tori ends up falling to Sauna. Now the Bastion's going to be extremely weak. Fortunately for China, fully charged up on that beam, but unable to kind of stay in that fight. Ideally for the Symmetra as well, Rose, you need a shield to kind of dance around. Your own shield, not the enemy shield, of course. You need to be 100% charged, just beaming people, dancing around shield, because eventually you're just going to fry somebody. But here it is. We're so back.
We are so back. It is Torbjorn time again. Our hammer time. I think we should just call this hammer time, right?
Sure. We can call this hammer time. There's only one hammer, but I'm down for it, honestly. All right. Oh, Prota. Ray cancelled. That's a Ray Jax on the side of Sakura Esports, and no chance of winning this fight at all.
Ray Jax. Okay, it's sticking. Honestly, I like it. We still gotta work on some of the terminology for some of the other ones that get canceled out, but I like the term Ray Jax. Hitori does have the Sigma. Oh, like, I feel like there's not really a great answer to that right now. It's out of maybe the Annihilation from... Actually, never mind. Gen.G has 4 ults. Gen.G has 4 ults.
Seen crazier things, to be fair. Rock already coming out, though. There's the Flux. Dash away for the Gen.G. Still catches 3. Beat in the skies for Crispy. Hits everybody as the Tectonic Shock is going to push Sakura Esports back. A repeat sound barrier there. Sakura Esports not able to gain space with that bomb, but the Annihilation is going to make it rather difficult now for Sakura Esports to walk up, especially mixed with this blade. That should just be Matt as well, as Sauna grabs the Mega Health Pack and kills Zoro. 80% in building for Gen.G. Fun times might be over for Sakura, although they switched the Queen to get back in time. They've got a wall too to try and find an entry.
Yeah, I mean, they got all 4 ultimates out of Gen.G in that last fight, so maybe this is the saving grace. They get to go in for a clean fight. Oh,
Tori wondering where the entirety of Gen.G disappeared to then. There's 2 people on the point right now for Sakura. They do end up finding that flip, but Gen.G have taken the fight to the backline. As soon as that Queen ends up using that shout, you just dive backline. You know they have to touch as well. There's the burrow and the drill dash as well to get away from the Queen. Hitori, unfortunately, in the City of Pain right now as Top Dragon just focusing her down. And with their need to touch, Sakura Esports are going to have to hope and pray for some sort of miracle, but I don't think that one is coming. There's a TP to the back as well. Quickly dashed away, actually, and the Molten Core to signal the end of the map. Gen.G end up taking that one 2-1.
Wow, we were in for such a treat to start off our day, our weekend. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you, Gen.G and Sakura, for 17 different heroes in that map.
Let's go. That's what Overwatch is about, baby.
Crazy.
Hitting that E key like there's no tomorrow. The letter H on everybody's keyboard has disappeared at this point, just worn away after that map.
Just the rotating door of heroes was amazing. So, hey, I'm here for it. Honestly, it was working out for Sakura until Gen.G decided that they wanted to play something that was a little bit more conventional. And so we saw the Windstand with the Venture, we saw the Ram with the Venture. I think this is definitely something that's more comfortable for Gen.G. I like that they can play to their wheelhouse rather than having to play the Hazard versus Hazard matchup.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm here for it, especially if you can bring out these comps that, again, I don't think the Torben Sim is that bad, but a little bit more unconventional, yeah. Of course, Wrecking Ball and Junkrat was banned. Were we going to see Junkrat? Potentially, but unfortunately, we were not graced with it. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I
could have.
Yeah, I do like what Krusty said, though. If you don't want to waste bans early on in the series and save them for later, it's kind of nice, because if you do end up going to 5 maps, by the 5th map, if you're banning, like, you expect Hazard to have been banned, Juno to have been banned, Gen.G, Tracer, like, these heroes that you're either the enemy team is banned or you've banned earlier on in the series, so saving a couple of bans for later on, that will be more impactful on a map type like Escort or Hybrid or Push. It might be a little bit more beneficial to you. Here are the stats from the last one. Yeah, a bit of a bit of an all-around game. It was a bit crazy, to put it lightly. Like I said, maybe they did watch the career VODs this morning, and you know what? Torb and Sim, hey, it worked out for one team, so why can't we run it too? Sakura Esports, and like Johnny is kind of bigging them up recently on his stream and on this broadcast as well. Like, hey, they can still come up with a big win. Will it be against Gen.G? Signs point to no, but hey, you still managed to take a round on what was rather a chaotic map number 1. They get to choose their map now, Rose. Where do you think we're going to go if you're Sakura?
Well, I think this is where the point that you were bringing up about the hero bans becomes really important, because while Sakura can pick their map, you get a chance to actually take something out of their hands that they would otherwise love to be able to play.
Right.
So if you want to actually go to something that's going to be great for Sojourn, like Colosseo, I guess maybe sometimes we see it on Numbani, but then that's something that you could actually ban out, or you could say, hey, maybe you can't play Diva or Winston,
right,
or let's just ban out the Hazard, and then Hitori can't play that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Sakura as well, if you look at their DPS line, they probably do want to play something like a Sojourn. They want to play an Ashe, and then they want to have China on
Tracer.
Gen.G or Tracer. Like, their DPS line is very well suited to that. When you look at Gen.G, they've mainly been running this Tracer Genji, like, super fast. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more Venture, to be honest. I think Venture's an extremely fun hero to play. It can be very annoying to play against, too, with how slippery they are. Doubtful we're going to see it on Numbani, but still kind of possible. I'd still rather take the kind of hard dive, and Mag's Wrecking Ball cannot be banned out here, Rose, so maybe a little bit of Mag Wrecking Ball too, which is he has favored a lot of Sakura Esports heads out there too, actually, in the chat. 45% to 55 for Gen.G. Okay, so you know what, I'm happy about that. We've had a lot of very close predictions, Rose. I think last year it was I feel like the most we ever get is like
lopsided.
80-20, right? But this year coming in strong, a lot of people voting the other way, and maybe for the small upset. Let's have a look at the bans though. Gen.G banned second there, so they banned the Sigma, but the first ban actually from Sakura was Echo.
That actually makes a lot of sense as well when you take a look at the DPS lineup that we do see from Gen.G. They do have an opportunity to play the Echo through Top Dragon. Top Dragon's always been very good at just sort of any of those projectile DPS, which is why we see him play the Genji or the Echo, and then of course backed up by Sauna's Tracer. So now you don't have that aerial unit to be able to play on the high grounds of Numbani. A lot of the easy access to some of those second level windows or doors. Smart ban by Sakura. I think they have had great bans so far for the first and second map.
Yeah, Gen.G have not played Numbani yet either. They did end up playing, like you mentioned, Top Dragon on the Echo on Dorado versus Virtus Pro. So it's worth kind of keeping in mind. Virtus Pro did end up winning that map, but it's worth the Echo on a map that has very easily assailable high grounds. Makes a lot of sense if you're on the side of Sakura. Numbani has been changed too. We haven't seen Numbani in... I feel like we haven't seen Numbani in Overwatch Esports in... God,
I think this is my first time, but they did play it in NA.
Yeah.
I think they played NA last weekend, but yeah, it feels like it hasn't been a part of the map pool in
a long time.
Like a whole calendar year.
Yeah, and it's been, obviously, Numbani's been through several changes throughout the years, and obviously the most recent change was the shortening of, like, the spawn to first, like, a whole section of the map which completely chopped out, which is quite funny. I always remember kind of seeing that change, and I was like, yeah, no one ever used to... never used that part of the map, right? Maybe the ball player, maybe an old Sombra, you know, with the translocator or whatever, but no one... I mean, when they were developing the map, I'm sure they were like, yeah, people are going to hold near the spawn doors. They're going to hold that high ground, you know, that bridge that overlooks the actual doors itself. And then within like 2 months, it was like, okay, you just actually hold point because it's just way easier and it's hard to actually get up the high ground. A lot of the new different high ground access points as well on the defense, especially where Kinale and Crispy are currently. So let's have a look what the Gen.G are running on the defense. So same thing, Rose. They're going Sim, they're going Torb. I can imagine we're going to see this a little bit more often now. I think this is going to be a more prevalent comp coming in. I mean, it's very hard to dive. It's very hard to kill the Torb, and I'm very okay with this.
So much variety. We're being treated to such great hero choices here in OWCS. Even on the side of Sakura, like, we are seeing sort of the same old we would expect to see from this team. But this is what makes me excited, is like, how are they going to deal with this Torb sim? How do you get rid of the Torb?
Yeah,
Who goes after the Torb?
See, this is the thing with the Symmetra as well. Very hard to kind of lock down. Good kill from Top Dragon onto Shine to start off with. It's very hard to lock down, and what Hazard does extremely well is jump on somebody, one-shot them, or if not one-shot, then they get, 80% of their health bar chewed away, and then someone else comes in and finishes the kill. Symmetra is very hard to actually kill, and with Sim, you want to be near your supports a lot of the time, especially in this kind of composition, where you can protect them because you know the dive is coming in. You can then TP your team away, or you can just sit there and get healed while you just farm the Hazard, who is already committed to the backline. And then Mag is Wrecking Ball, so he can just do whatever he wants. That's exactly what you're seeing on your screen right now.
Yeah, no power slide. You just have to run away, and there is no way that you can outrun a Wrecking Ball. Look at the speed of velocity of this guy. Like, everybody's on that to spawn.
Like, permanently. It's kind of insane. But then again, Torb is the same thing, Rose. You can't die on the Torb. It's very tough to actually take down. So Sakura Esports say, okay, fine. You're playing the Torb sim. We will play it with the Queen.
Hattori definitely not one of those players that we see playing a lot of like the Wrecking Ball, or had a very good Winston last season, but I think it just looks a lot more comfortable on heroes like the Queen or the Hazard. So Queen is fun. I love the opportunity for you to use Gracie to dislodge somebody off of the high ground.
Second big nade hitting there from Colosseo. And it looks like Zoro is in trouble. Yeah, no turret to save you there, unfortunately. I love the throwing out the turret at the final moment just to maybe block a single shot, and then you realize Symmetra's just got beam. But yeah, here we go. Colosseo with a Nano Rose, and this defense is looking like Fort Knox at the moment.
Brick by brick, hopefully they can start to whittle it away, but it's looking pretty impossible. I feel like Gen.G just have such a firm control on things. You can even see that within their ultimate pool. Haven't had to use a thing. And so they're going to have probably 5 ultimates to throw at this next fight. Whereas Sakura are struggling to get on the board. Proto is going to be the first one to get something like a rush. But how effective is that really when you can't actually access the high ground? Everybody is so slippery. You just use a Sim TP to get away from something like that, or you roll away if you're Mag.
You're just chasing people with portal guns. That's all you're doing right now if you're Sakura Esports. You see them TP and Gen.G TP away. China dies to a Cheeto across the map, and, well, Mag is just Mag. So, yeah, that'll be, again, another fight over. 60 seconds to go. Has there been a proper fight for the Queen to do damage?
No.
Not really, unfortunately, yeah. Gen.G are just kind of playing with them right now.
You even got the slight stagger there onto Proto after putting him to sleep. And now you've got 40 seconds left. Sakura still haven't had a chance to use a single ultimate this round. So you have the Kitsune Rush, but then what, right? You still run into the same conundrum of we need to access the high ground. Gen.G has a lot of mobility tools to actually get away from that, and they're still sitting on 5 ults. This is not looking good for Sakura.
Oh, nice little bait TP, but what a nade. Beautiful cleanse, though, but the Mortal Core is going to come in for Top Dragon, forcing a rotation from Sakura Esports. Hattori, though. Oh, and a Nano Sim. Oh. Sorta just got every support ult imaginable there. Nano and a sound barrier just to walk through the lava. And that is going to be the defense. That might just be the map to OT. 0% for Sakura. And Hattori, sadly for her, still sitting on that Queen ult.
It was so rough. Like, Sakura took way too long to be able to get ultimates, but that was just a testament to how fast Gen.G was killing them. Nobody had a clean team. Actually, there was just no clean team fight, I think, until the very last moment. Gen.G has 5 ults, and there's just not really a whole lot that you can do about that. This is looking like a pretty decisive 3-0 here for Gen.G, much to, I think, everyone's hopes.
I mean, look, 45% of the public, they wanted Sakura to win here. They thought maybe Sakura comes out with something a little bit crazy. It's going to be the same thing, surely, on the defense. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay, Sim Tor back at it again. Hattori on the Wrecking Ball. We'll see if Gen.G are going to run this. I actually don't mind this whatsoever. The Sombra and the Venture against the enemy ball. And the Sombra too, I mean the Venture, sorry, very good at dislodging and surviving, like I mentioned before. So being able to get this sim away from her turrets, away from her backline is very easy as the Venture. And Venture as well initially takes damage, maybe they get naded, they just hit the burrow, they drill dash away. It's like very hard to lock someone down like that. See if Sauna sticks on the Widow. No, jumps over to the Venture. So here we go. And Kiriko too, so just cleanse those nades, Rose.
I love your call out of the knockback potential there of the Venture. We still end up seeing Top Dragon Sauna lock into that Sombra and Venture at the end of the day. And so for Hitori, I think you're going to have such a tough time on the Wrecking Ball or even just China on the Symmetra. You can lock down all of those kits.
Yeah, one pick here is all they really need. There's the Virus. Oh, nice TP from Top Dragon straight over Protoss head. And that's map. That is map just like that. They only need one pick in this comp. And a pick they got. That's 33%, and that is the quickest. Has to be. I'll check with the record keepers, but that's got to be the quickest attack and completion of Numbani of all time. That was, what, 3:21? So that was 39 seconds for their attack to get a round win. So,
well, yeah, the Symmetra TP out of the spawn, and then you had the Sombra hack. It was set up to be the speed run of the century there. So I think they might have sealed that. They definitely have, at least in the new era of Numbani.
39 seconds. Yeah, exactly. New era, to be fair as well. But 39 seconds?
That's crazy.
That's quick. That's lightning fast.
Oh my god.
That's a ridiculous time, and Gen.G end up taking that map. We're already on map number 3. Do you think there's hope here for Sakura? What can they possibly do? Simtorb looking pretty clean for both squads. Sorry, for Gen.G. I wouldn't say both squads right now because it just kind of got ran over. And Gen.G rolled out with the perfect answer to it too. The Sombra and the Venture.
I think I want so much to huff the Hopium and Copium that Sakura can bring this back, but I just think that Gen.G have really figured out how they want to actually play this Torp sim. And I think they're really too good at it. I don't know if there's much that Sakura can actually do against this. Maybe they can try to ban out the sim, but then they can't use it, or you ban out the Torb.
Yeah, it feels like if you start doing that, it's just like...
Then you just go back to playing Hazard versus Hazard.
Hazard,
you play,
Gen.G,
Ball
Tracer.
with Venture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2 deaths for Gen.G. 34.5 KD. 0.2 on the side of Sakura. Yeah, not a close map by any stretch of the imagination. We'll see if Sakura can kind of clamber back into this series and maybe take a map win. Gen.G, of course, they need this as well. A little confidence booster for them. VP head and shoulders above the rest of the region currently, but everybody expecting Gen.G to be up there too with Mag, Top Dragon, Sauna, like very experienced players, and a comp that is really built with the help of Krusty, of course, in the coaching room to win EMEA and then hopefully win an international as well.
Well, they're already looking very good to be at least in those top 2 spots in EMEA to make it to those live events. And that's what every single team is looking at right now, especially when it comes to the EMEA region. We do only have 2 spots to send to the very first live event that we have in China. So Gen.G, Virtus Pro, I guess those are the 2 teams to beat right now. And Sakura can try on Colosseo, but I almost expect there to be a Sojourn ban coming in from Gen.G.
Yeah, 100%. Just get that away from Zoro. That was what Ultimates banned against Sakura Esports in their series the other day, was that Sojourn on Colosseo. They ended up playing Hitori on the Diva in that series with the Kiriko and the Lucio backline, and then China obviously on the Tracer. So we'll see if the same is going to be said here. It makes sense. I mean, if you're Krusty right now, yeah, like you banned the Junkrat, like okay, you ban, you know, it. A target ban here might just be the final nail in the coffin. We'll see if Sakura end up maybe just banning another DPS. Like, okay, we're just going to ban the Torbjorn, right? We'll ban the Sim. We'll ban something else, and then we can at least protect the DPS pick for themselves.
Yeah, on that same map, Zoro ended up playing like a little bit of a mix of Cassidy and Sombra.
Yeah.
So either one of those, I just don't think is particularly where Zoro finds comfort. But Sakura actually gonna ban out the Venture as we see Gen.G pick Baptiste as the first ban. Now that one's unusual to me because I feel like Strubber and Proto have not played any Baptiste at all this OWCS season.
Yeah, so yeah, the Venture, very annoying to kind of deal with, but hey, you still get to play the Sojourn now if you're Sakura. I do believe Sakura banned here first. We'll get that switch around because the loser of the last map.
That would make more
first.
sense, right?
Yeah, so they do end up banning Venture, so they do protect that DPS, so they can play the Sojourn, so it can't get banned out. So that would make a lot more sense to me. I'm pretty sure that's well, I'm 100% sure that's how that goes down. So yeah, all good. With that one and Gen.G, just sure, ban BAP. I mean, it gives you your backline flexibility if you want it. You can play Ana, you can play Kiriko, you can play Junos, whatever. Like, pretty sure they're happy with playing anything. Canal, I would imagine Rose would love to play Ana here. Very good on this map too. And with Gen.G being able to play also Wrecking Ball as well. So, looks like both teams hovering though. They're doing the Sim and Torbjorn yet again.
That a combination of DPS heroes I even would have expected on Colosseo, just knowing how long of sightlines you end up playing. But I love that the Symmetra and Torb can help to close the distance a little bit and make this Wrecking Ball not so slow. I think that's what's been the most exciting about this team comp for me from how Gen.G are operating with it, is usually when we see Mag on the Wrecking Ball, it takes some time to actually get going. But look at Mag's already behind them. You can see everybody's heads and attention turning to where Mag just bowled through the team.
Little TP away. Hattori's rock here is going to be crucial to stop Mag from doing things, but I mean, look, landing a rock on someone at the best of times, you're either disrupting someone or going for a kill onto somebody. Top Dragon is going to be the first target, though. Okay, there's one kill. China takes Top Dragon out. A slam comes in. Hattori gets naded. Not entirely sure what that Ana is. I'm sure Hattori's kind of looking as well. Looks like maybe those double doors. Yeah, good sleep onto the Sigma, and Strebor ends up going down. Gen.G do have control as Mag is basically a free range hamster right now. Can just roll around, do whatever he wants.
free range. That's crazy. Oh god, what was it that I was wondering the other day? I saw a clip of somebody asking if like hamsters are wild.
There are wild hamsters. They do exist.
Yeah, so that's a fun.
Mag is one of them. We're seeing one right now in his natural habitat of Colosseo. All right, there's the kill. There's the team wipe. All right, Gen.G.
Oh my god. Yeah, Gen.G are looking great right now. I'm still tickled by that comment. But Mag has the mines. That's a really great way to be able to hold down this first checkpoint and also just delay them. Like oh no, poor Proto.
Bro is just rolling through the enemy team on cooldown. I mean,
literally.
That's perfect for you, right? You just keep doing it. Bash, 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 bash. Disrupt people, mines, like, yeah. Mag is having the time of his life. Mines on the points and on the high ground too. Did a little split there. Zoro dead, unfortunately, as Kaneo does end up getting taken down. But it's all good, because guess who's alive? It's Mag.
Mag is full HP, full shields, full everything, and that's going to be checkpoint for Gen.G. Easy as you like it. 4 ultimates after this to see if they can complete the map.
Please don't solo EMP in the spawn.
I don't think it's a solo EMP.
Yo! Whoa! Top Dragon! Call it David Blaine. He just disappeared. I can't even chase him. Top Dragon's out of there.
Oh, the high steal away bot, sort of. But what? To what end?
Oh.
Proto's dead.
Yeah, a little bit of a team differential here for Gen.G. They're getting that bot around that corner, approaching that final straight.
EMP ready to go. There's so much to follow that up with, and it is almost a solo.
Proto's dead again. Yeah, I mean, the focus fire onto Proto here is just... It's got to be some sort of war crime.
He's getting bullied.
The backline.
What is this?
Top Dragon eventually dies, but there's 100+ meters for Gen.G. And they're even going to just continue. Flux does connects with 2 in fact. Sound barrier for Crispy still available, but they didn't need it right now as they've got a wall to hide behind. A little teleport onto the high ground for Canal as the Nano is deployed onto the Symmetra as Sauna hunts for targets. A Molten Core on the point for Zoro to stop something. Well, that would have been a rather cheeky post bomb for China, but it might be Sauna eventually going down. There it is, Zoro with 2. The bot has been stolen, but 1, 2, 3, 4 2 meters for Gen.G. Top Dragon's 1 HP as well. 1 HP, and Top Dragon's alive.
Top Dragon got a kill. Okay, not going to be a full completion just yet as we finally see Sakura bring the bot back to neutral. But this is now just a game of defense at this point. Gen.G don't have to push it all the way to the end. They still have these mines to look at as well. At least Top Dragon is finally dead, so that is a big thing. A big thing for Sakura.
Positive steps in the right direction. Yeah, Top Dragon down. Good TP as well from Proto. You saw Zoro get ganked there by Mag and Crispy. We'll see how they end up tackling this next bit, because Mag's going to come in and, lay down those mines. There's a sound barrier available from Strebor, but it looks like the only person in danger right now is Hattori, but has the backup. Both supports looking at him, and there's the beat. Now, Mag is unafraid of pretty much everything in the front line, so he's just going to roll through people over and over again. Hattori getting quadra booped, low HP. Mag finishes the kill, and that'll be a sound barrier for the ages there, unfortunately for Sakura. Didn't really get all too much. They weren't able to push through that choke.
Jeez, I mean, the disruptor shot on top of all of the damage that Mag is pumping out. Gen.G are starting to get really serious. The Top Dragon going back over to the Genji and Sauna to the Sojourn. They actually just want to finish out this map, it feels like. Not playing any games anymore. Sombra is gone. And with the sound barrier, this just might be it here. A full completion on the cards for Gen.G.
Axe swing. Missed there by Hattori, but scared people away. Sound barrier coming in. Hattori now having to run, however. Rush laid down on the bridge. Mag slams on the high ground. Gracie doesn't going wide, but Hattori still claims this high ground away from Gen.G. Reflect called out from Top Dragon, but gets a dash through Zoro, so hits the reset. Hattori in hot pursuit kills Top Dragon, but is now isolated alone in this low ground position. Proto has joined them. TP from the Kiriko, but now the Kiriko rather vulnerable. Same with the rest of Sakura Esports as now Mag goes in for the 1 millionth time rolling through the team as Strebor ends up falling. Canale finished off by Hattori, so that's another kill for the Junker Queen, but Sauna stepping up to the Queen's might. Falls to the bleed, but at what cost? 3.5 minutes, and still with a gigantic chasm of a distance to climb for Sakura Esports.
And they're still pushing the bot back to the wall. And so, yes, they get a chance to actually give a little bit of a breath. Like, Sakura can regroup as a full team of 5, but Mag has another set of mines. Those are getting layered on top of the bridge.
No. So good. Mines dodged. Molten Core available.
Oh,
Proto dead. Mag thriving.
Wow, they actually even killed Hattori too quickly, so Mag couldn't get there. But the communication is there. It's on point. The focus fire is incredible. And just understanding the assignment of who to take down first, Gen.G are absolutely popping off. They're going to bring that bot all the way back towards the checkpoint. They still see a full map completion in their sights. It's not going to be a speed run, but with something like the Blade and the Kitsune rush for this final stretch of the map, they could complete here.
Rush, match with the Molten Core. Good luck using that now, but Top Dragon's just going to jump over it. Blade available, beat for Sakura. They've got the backup if they need it, but Top Dragon waiting in the wings. Waiting for someone to step out of line. Looks like Sauna there was in the high ground. Eventually got booped out of that position. Oh, Top Dragon. Oh my god. Clean with it. Pulls the blade, kills Zoro, DPS down, beat popped. Only a 3-man as the Rampage was used too by Hattori, so now the backline's a little bit worse for wear. Hattori jumped on as well. Good defense there from Mag. Goalkeeper for Sauna to help him finish off the kill. And here is the sound barrier. The push from Gen.G should be the final one as well. Suzu, a quick teleport away, but now the Kiriko has been slain. Gen.G with a map completion on the cards, with the mines on on the point. Hattori jumps over to the hazard to try and survive Rose, but it looks inevitable, just like all things, including time. Gen.G end up coming up with a win, a little 3-0 to start off the day.
Gen.G looks so good, even though it's not necessarily on things we would consider conventional as far as EMEA OWCS goes. They brought the sauce, and being able to get a 3-0 victory this week is so important. This is a team that everybody was looking at maybe faltering in that first match versus Virtus Pro, but really turning things around to go 2-1 right now, Zoe. This is one of the teams to beat.
It really is. They must have had lunch plans, holy speed run. Like they wanted to get this one over with fast. And at the beginning, it looked like, okay, this is going to be a silly match, right? Like straight out of the gate, both teams rocking that sim turf. And like, there's a lot to be said about that composition being valid on that particular map. But they made it look good. Like it wasn't a brawl. It wasn't really messy either. They really understood the win condition of that composition. So overall, just really, really well played by Gen.G. I'm very, very impressed with what we've seen just in comparison to what we've seen the first week. Because Gen.G initially looked like they're still trying to figure it out. They did mostly safe last week. It was mostly, you know, like Sojourn, Tracer, Gen.G, Top Dragon obviously in the mix, so you have like an Echo here and there, or a Pharah, but like it wasn't like really standing out. This looks more like them. It's playing to their strengths. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you compare this to like sauce packets from your favorite fast food restaurant, you had the mild, which they started off with. And then, you know, they turned up the heat to hot. And then the Flame is when they won their first series. And then Diablo was this series, basically. They
added some good old garlic crunch today. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what we've been saying. That's what we've been saying. I mean, Rose has been saying it. Look, they brought the sauce. I'm happy with it. Don't think this comp is bad. Actually, like, going up against the Hazard definitely has merits. I mean, the Hazard jumping on people is the main way that comp gets stuff done. And very hard to jump and kill with the Torb instantly because he has the overload. The Symmetra too, if you're hanging with the supports, it could be really slippery too with the TPs away and just like getting fried by the turrets and then the left click charging up. There are merits to that kind of comp. I don't think we're going to see it all too often because, like I said, I woke up this morning super early like I normally do, turned on Korea, and I was like, okay, what are teams playing? Oh, Sim, Torb, Ball, Kiriko, and Moira on Survasa. What am I in for today in the EMEA? Not entirely sure, but I'm glad we saw a little bit here. I think there's still merits to that composition. Will we see every team run it? Not entirely sure with you, but so. I am here for it.
I do love that Sakura tried to match it, though. Sakura was like, oh, this is what we're doing? Sure, why not? That said, though, I did like what we saw from Sakura last week a little more. I think they had a lot of individuals that really stood out. I mean, Tracers, China on Tracer that way around against, what was it, the Ultimates? Menace in the backline. Today, a little bit more quiet because there was just so much annoying things on the opposition.
Just so much going on.
Yeah, there was just too much. Let's take a look at our player of the match here. Oh, no. Who's going to get it? Mag is going to get it. I mean, yeah, there's a good ball.
Bro got healed once, I think, on Colosseo. He was like, don't worry about me. Just like, and that's what you need for your Wrecking Ball player as well, right? At the end of the day, if the ball is sustaining himself and he's vibing and he's just bowling through people, grabbing the megas, grabbing the minis, just making sure that your backline is a little bit more free to do damage, to heal your DPS, like to heal your other support player, like you're doing well on the Wrecking Ball. We know Max is a good ball player. His hero pool has definitely improved a lot over the years. Definitely more in the like main tanky kind of realm. But as those roles get kind of merged and everything just becomes one, I think Mag, good pickup for Gen.G. I like Krusty, what he's been cooking, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see some more Mag Wrecking Ball in the future. And then people to ban the ball as well away from him, because he's pretty slick with it.
I think we've already seen that, right? Just a couple of targeted Wrecking Ball bans against Mag, because the Mag ball is sick. You even called out a really great play that Mag went for, which was just go roll around and actually soak up damage so that you could see a big, the big Sojourn pickups. Like, Mag knows it's not just about bullying the backline of the enemy team, but it's about using the ball to make sure that your own team also has the support that it needs.
Yeah, it's so good at like chunking people down, like hitting people with a slam. Yeah. It did get buffed recently too, where you were up in the air a little bit longer, so it's so easy to set up with kills.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have a good a good ball on your server, like that, just it can be such a difference maker. We see it with Chase as well. Either way, though, we do have a winners interview ready now. It should be voice only, and I believe Sauna is with us? Question mark? Exclamation mark? It is Sauna. Sauna, congratulations! Thank you so much for taking the time for a quick chat. Straight out of the gate, I want to talk about the comps. This was a different look we got to see from your team. Last week we saw you mostly on Tracer. I think you dipped your toes with the Venture. On the Venture in there as well. Walk us through that Sim Torb. Where is this coming from? Are we going to see more of? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think the Sim Torb is like really good against like the old meta comp, the Hazard comp. Sim Torb seems to beat it pretty consistently, so people started playing that instead of the Hazard comps. And with bans, like a lot of comps are playable. Like I don't think there's like a one meta comp that's like insane. I think it's like really good that you can play a lot of stuff, and I think our team's like pretty good at playing multiple comps. I think it fits us. I like this patch.
Yeah, this patch seems very open. I'm curious if that's going to continue to kind of evolve in that comp, if people are going to be like hard running it, or if people are going to come with counters. They probably will, of course, and the ban system helps that. I did want to know your thoughts about the EMEA region as a whole. Like, where do you guys see yourself? VP seems head and shoulders above the rest of the competition right now, but as the meta kind of shifts, do you think there's going to be a point when VP like fall a couple of places, and where do you put yourself against teams like Ultimates as well?
Well, I think EU is pretty stacked this year. Like a lot of the teams, like top 4, top 5, I think it just depends on the day and on the patch, like who gets the win on the day. I think towards the end it's gonna reward teams with a lot of flexibility with the hero bans. I think our team, we have a lot of young players, we have good coaching. I think we should be strong in that. So I think we should be one of the top teams if things go right.
If things go right. Well, today they certainly did go right. Sona, thank you so much for joining us for the quick chat, and best of luck in your upcoming match.
Thanks for having me.